Hello, trading is closed on the 31st of May, 2024. We always do our disclaimer first. We'll go over our calls and then we'll make some predictions. This is my trading plan for Monday. Monday is June 3rd, 2024. Please remember that my calls can be completely wrong. Any trade you make should be made at your own risk. Also, I've had personal business this week. I'll have some personal business early next week. Hopefully by the end of the week I'll be more able to watch the market all day long, and just because this week's calls have worked, there's no guarantee future calls are going to work. But we looked for the pattern today with the early low, and that's what this is. And here's what we said. We said that I think we're in for more of a decline than we've had so far, so we did trade down, but that doesn't mean we drop every day. If we don't gap down smartly, which we didn't, the odds favor us seeing 52, 55, 93. These are the patterns we should see next week. So Monday has the early low. So 52, 55, 93 is this red line here. We hit that within a few pennies right at the open. So that was satisfied. We did trade lower, and we get to cross quite a few old targets off the list. We get to cross off 52, 18, 91. 52, 11, 15, 52, 01, 88, and 51, 97, 15. You'll remember we said earlier in the month that we had a cluster like this, and in the past when these clusters have printed, almost always you're going to see these numbers printed sometime. We just can't say when. And you can see how these numbers are resistance and support even long after they printed. Now we still have two reasonably close targets, 51.89.72, 51.58.58, and I still think they'll be seen at some time, but that doesn't mean they're going to be seen now. We came awfully close to one of these targets, the ultimate target today, but that's no guarantee it prints anytime soon, even though I think it will print at some point. So during the day, we had a sell signal early in the morning from MEJT, and that certainly worked. We then got a buy signal in the afternoon. The minimum target printed immediately. It didn't mean you'd have to go up this much, but it was a warning not to look for more short sales because we had a buy signal. And of course, that's already played out. We're going to go over the calls for today, but let's remember this is a TDST line, and this is one bar completely over the line, which is resistance. And if we print one bar completely over the highest bar here, that's a breakthrough of resistance. So we're still coming into a resistance area, even though today's rally was pretty strong. And we've tested this resistance area so many times. I still think at some point we're going to break through. Well, we had this Ganfan 2x1 line. We dropped to it exactly yesterday, and then we didn't gap under it. When you got a major line like this, and you hit it on the nose in a straight line move, if you're going to keep on dropping, you really should gap under it. The fact that we didn't was kind of an early warning sign that this break lower early in the day probably wouldn't stick. Didn't mean it would reverse today. But it's not what you want to see if you're going to just keep on dropping. Now, there's never been a count here I'm totally happy with. This is closer than what I've seen so far. We used to have this as 5 waves up completed. I now think it's possible that we're either completed the 4th wave, or this is just ABC for A of the 4th wave. It's pretty tough to count this as 5 waves up. And if you measure from the top of the 4th wave to this low, it's exactly the height of wave 2. I mean, I'm not measuring to this low, but you have to take what you can get. So it's possible we've completed an ABC with good fibs, and if so, there could be a 5th wave up, which has the Fibonacci relationships to wave 1 and 3, but of course doesn't have to have a fib relationship, and this doesn't even have to be the right count. But we do have a volume spike in the E-mini contract and in the S&P 500, and these volume spikes tend to occur pretty close in time to where market lows happen, so this one could have legs. When it's wall into the close like this, often it's panic buying by retail customers, gets reversed early, gap down under all these lows. Just doesn't work that well on a Friday. You're not going to have panic buying on a Friday, particularly when we've been dropping for day after day after day. This isn't people just itching to get long. These are shorts who are caught and who want to get out, and probably all of them didn't get out in the last half hour of trading. So the odds are overwhelming, strong I should say, this is going to continue on Monday. If it doesn't, it's negative. But almost always a move like this on a Friday, particularly a reversal on Friday, which is the hardest day of the week to get the reversal, almost always that's going to follow through, which is no guarantee that we close higher. But this should have more upside than this, even though I think we're going to see these prices later on. So Monday's pattern has the early low, regardless of where we open. We have a wall into the close that often represents panic buying by amateurs, but when it happens on a Friday, the rally usually follows through at Monday's open, and it's short-term bearish if it doesn't. That's not a guarantee that we close higher, just means there should be follow-through. It's difficult for the market to stage a reversal like this on a Friday. Retail customers are reluctant to buck the trend with weekend illiquidity on the horizon. Almost always a move like this is a sign that sellers are exhausted and that everyone who wanted to sell already has done so. The volatility index and NASDAQ McClellan oscillator have given Bollinger Band reversal buy signals. The volume spike and the wave count are compatible with at least a short-term low here, and my preferred count has us in the wave 5 higher. Now we should have more of a correction when this fifth wave's over, if that's the right count. But for now, I think we have more to go on the upside, even if we don't see it all on Monday. So here's a pretty strong reversal at the least likely time. It should have some legs. There should be a wave 5 up, but I still have these lower targets, which I think will print later on. But we could go tradably higher first. It's a bit early in the move to tell, but this has all the signs of reversal, which should take us tradably higher, I would think. It's the pattern with the early low. Look out if we don't get follow through, but I think we will. And that's today's call.